Title: The Viking Discovery of America, Vinland Saga. Scene 1. The ominous sea, the vast ocean stretched endlessly in all directions. Vikings stood on the deck of their sturdy longship, eyes squinting against the harsh sun. The ship pitched and rolled with the whims of the sea, yet the crew's resolve was clear. Leif Erikson, the fearless leader, studied the horizon with keen eyes. As the sea whispered ancient secrets, he was determined to carve his own path across the mighty Atlantic. Scene 2. Ancient whispers gathered around the crackling fire under a canopy of stars. The men murmured stories of adventure and land beyond the known world. The stories passed down through generations spoke of a mystical place called Vinland, where the abundance of nature lay. Leif, captivated by these tales, felt the stirrings of destiny pulling him towards the unknown. Scene 3. Days into weeks, the journey was long and arduous. Salt air stung their skin and sails billowed in the gusty winds. Each day blended into the next. The camaraderie among the men was palpable as they entertained each other with songs and stories, keeping their spirits afloat amidst the endless seascape. Scene 4. The mysterious island. After weeks at sea, land was finally sighted. It called to them like a siren song. Rugged cliffs stood against the crashing waves as the longship drew closer. This was an unfamiliar land, a celestial promise waiting to be unveiled. Beaching their ship on the strange shore, they stepped into the unknown. Scene 5. Exploring new ground, the Vikings roamed this new land, eyes wide with curiosity and wonder. Deep forests spoke of ancient stories with each whispering breeze. Abundant resources surrounded them: berries, wild game, and timber. As the men marveled at what they found, the name Vinland resonated through their consciousness, symbolizing hope and prosperity. Scene 6. Encounters with the unknown. In spaces between the trees, shadows moved. The Vikings discovered they were not alone. The native people, Skrælings, appeared both mysterious and intriguing. Despite a mutual curiosity, fear and suspicion simmered beneath the surface of these initial contacts. Scene 7. The language of survival. Communicating with the Skrælings was an intricate dance of gestures and sounds. Through shared gestures, food, and gifts, the groups formed an uneasy truce. Punctuated by moments of tension, the Vikings slowly gathered understanding of the land they now called home. Scene 8. Winter's embrace. Cold winds swept over Vinland as winter approached, draping a silvery frost over the landscape. The Vikings built shelters, fortifying themselves against the cold. Days were spent around fires, sharing stories. Subtle bonds were formed as survival instincts sharpened amidst the relentless chill. Scene 9. Trials of coexistence. The long winter strained resources and tested the limits of newly formed alliances. Misunderstandings threatened to unravel the fragile peace between the Vikings and Skrælings. Harsh choices were to be made, balancing survival with maintaining harmony. Scene 10. Spring's promise. With the arrival of spring, new life surged through Vinland. Fresh greens peeked through melting snow. The Vikings and Skrælings emerged, renewing interactions. The land awakened, rejuvenating ties between the two peoples, and hope blossomed alongside. Scene 9. Trials of coexistence. The long winter strained resources and tested the limits of newly formed alliances. Misunderstandings threatened to unravel the fragile peace between the Vikings and Skrælings. Harsh choices were to be made, balancing survival with maintaining harmony. Scene 10. Spring's promise. With the arrival of spring, new life surged through Vinland. Fresh greens peeked through melting snow. The Vikings and Skrælings emerged, renewing interactions. The land awakened, rejuvenating ties between the two peoples, and hope blossomed alongside. Scene 11. discoveries and inventions, the Vikings introduced their way of life, tools, techniques, and crafts to their newfound acquaintances. The exchange enriched both cultures, blending old traditions with newly discovered skills. A mosaic of cultures began to shape. Scene 12. The shadow of conflict tensions rose as resources grew scarce again. Misunderstandings flared into skirmishes, straining uneasy peace. Decisions had to be taken to secure harmony before conflict consumed the unraveled threads of coexistence. Scene 13. Blood and Brotherhood Leaf held determined discussions with his compatriots, urging restraint and advocating for continued dialogue with the Skrulls. Conflict loomed as a shadow over peace, demanding wisdom and patience from every heart to prevent a river of blood. Scene 14. The chorus of peace new negotiations were attempted, incorporating members from both communities. Leaf hoped for a pact, his charisma an invaluable asset in mediating peace. This fragile song of accord demanded delicate balancing. Scene 15. A time of plenty and unexpected bounty from the sea. Shoals of fish eased tensions, allowing communities to thrive. Shared feasts celebrated unity, laughter echoing off the cliffs. The sea, once a barrier, became a generous ally. Scene 16. Festivals of the old gods, the Vikings held ceremonies honoring their deities, which intrigued the Skrulls. These celebrations of the old gods brimmed with feasting and merriment, an opportunity for deeper cultural exchange amidst the backdrop of renewal. Scene 17. Secrets of the Forest Leaf embarked on solitary explorations of the primeval woods. Discoveries of hidden groves, serene lakes, and majestic wildlife deepened his appreciation and commitment to this untamed frontier, sparking adventurous tales to tell upon his return. Scene 18. The shared path would-be adversaries forged pathways through trust and cooperation. Little by little, there was a shared language, a sense of kinship rooted in shared trials and triumphs over the elements. Scene 19. Rites of passage transitioning into roles of leadership and guardianship. Both Viking and Skrulling youth faced rites of passage. These ceremonies bridged worlds, rooting a new generation firmly in shared soil. Scene 20. Songs by the fire storytellers recited tales of bravery and magic around the campfire, weaving new myths that mixed ancestry and adventure. Blazing hearts burnished the night, casting dreams of harmony and peace. Scene 21. Lessons from the past elders recounted histories, emphasizing lessons learned from cooperation and strife. Their voices immortalized the journey from discovery to settlement, a call to protect this newfound world for future generations. Scene 22. Echoes of dissent despite prevailing peace. Occasional voices of dissent echoed. Not all could see the value of coexistence. These echoes warned of challenges yet to come, urging vigilance.